Yeah, sure.
So, welcome, my dear respected Dr. Rana Wadkar, ma'am. It's so privileged to have you once again, the intellectual personality like you, with us. And it's been a long again, but yeah, my shining stars are always missing with the whole curiosity to you. So, the next 30 minutes are all yours. Over to you, my dear respected ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madhavi. It's a pleasure to be always with the kids and on your platform. Thank you. Okay, great. So, let us today, anybody have an idea as to what are we having on this session, particular session today? Anyone?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Related to beauty.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let me just brief you. Today we'll just have a quick session on, communication skills and personality development. Do you all find it interesting?
All
Right,
right,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, perfect. Sounds good. Now let us go ahead and I need answers from you people. I will talk very less, but I'll take more from you and then give you what is needed. Okay? All right. So, what do you think, about the communication skills? Why is it important for us?
May I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Communication is the only way through which the another person can talk to someone, or they can express their feelings, what they are thinking about something, what they want to communicate basically.
Okay.
So it is really important to be a confident person and just say what you exactly want to say and look into the person's eyes and have a nice body language for a proper communication.
Perfect. Anybody else? I think somebody
Yes, ma'am.
raised a hand.
Ma'am,
Pankaj.
Yes, ma'am.
can
My dear
I?
shining stars,
Communication
please
is
remember, kindly speak one by one, and the one student when she or he is speaking, rest of you please mute yourself. So your voice should be enough audible, okay? Yeah, please
okay,
over to
ma'am.
you, my dear ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Uh,
Yeah.
Communication is having many ways to connect each other. Like if we are far from others, from our relatives or from our teacher, so we can write a letter or talk on the phone or
Okay.
message them.
Okay. All
Ma'am,
right.
can
That was a cute answer, though. Lovely. Okay. So, anybody else?
Yes, ma'am, can I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Communication is important
Communication
because it
is
helps people
important.
to share their thoughts, share my thoughts. Like it allows us to understand each them better. And if there is a good communication skills, they can solve problems and also clear the confusions between two people or others.
Okay.
And it also helps to bring build strong relationships, and communication skills is very important.
Great.
Ma'am, can
So,
I?
just to brief as to what is exactly communication, all the answers were really beautiful. You all know what is communication skills are. But when we talk about communication skills, there are, certain factors that we need to keep in mind. Anybody with those factors, if you are knowing it?
Yes, may I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, while talking to others and or communicating to others, we should keep our conversation respectful. We should not use those words which would hurt them. So
Absolutely.
this is
Okay.
the most important thing while communicating with others.
Okay,
Ma'am,
great. Yes,
Confidence.
ma'am,
Confidence.
confidence.
Yes,
full
communication
with
is very
politeness and
important
with
in
the good
voice.
body language.
Clarity
Oh,
in the voice.
wonderful. A good body language. That is bang on. Yes.
Ma'am,
When
the
you always
clarity.
talk. So, yes,
Man, clarity and conscience.
clarity and
Conscience.
concise. I mean, how well you put your thoughts across in a
Yes,
very
ma'am.
simple way, in a very simple language, and the way you put it. I mean, the tone matters. When you talk to
Yes.
somebody, it
Eye
depends on the way
contact.
you talk. The tone
Yes.
matters. And apart from that, when your tone, and when I say about tone, there's one more important factor which relates to your tone. What is it? Your tone and
Politeness.
answer. What is it?
Politeness.
Politeness. Yes. Perfect. Okay. What
And
else?
Body language.
we don't have
Language.
Language, yes, that's what we have discussed. But what is one more very, very important aspect? Please, I'm waiting for the bang on
Ma'am,
answer.
body language.
Expression. Expression.
Gesture.
Expression comes
Face.
under body language.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes,
Facial
please.
expressions.
Okay, somebody
Ma'am,
said
hand moves. Gesture and postures.
posture, again, body language.
Ma'am,
Okay.
hand moves.
Sorry, come again, please.
Hand moves. Moves.
Hand moves, hand movement. Okay, let me
Your
tell you that the very important factor is listening. You know, it is just not you go on what you want to talk and what you know that you talk, but it is very important when you communicate with a person. It is very
May I,
important
ma'am?
that you,
May I, ma'am?
yeah, go ahead.
May I, ma'am?
Yes, Rimpi, please go ahead.
Ma'am, communication skill is very important for all because if communication skill is good, then we present our thoughts very well. Every person understand, but we are thoughts, and if our spoken is fluency, our spoken fluency is good, then every words understand every person.
Right, right. Very true. That is what we are, our all other kids also mentioned the same. So where I was, it is very important that you listen actively. You don't give answers before the other person has completed, because you may end up in giving a wrong answer, or you may end up with a wrong understanding of the situation. So that is the main essence of communication skills. Do you all agree with that? How many of you all agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
I
yes,
agree.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
I
Yes.
agree. Ma'am, and the eye, ma'am,
Agree.
and the eye contact is also important. I agree.
Absolutely, very good. Eye contact is equally important, and that comes again under body language. Okay, so when we talk about listening, there are two ways of listening. What are those? The two types:
Verbal and non-verbal.
active and passive.
Yes.
You know, active listening is something when you listen carefully, listen to understand what the other person is telling, and then prepare the answer in your mind. And once the person stops, then you reply, right? And passive is you just hear the outline and then you go ahead and just answer. You just intrude the person who's talking and you just answer. So that is like, you understand, you didn't understand, we will not know. So be always an active listener, but not a passive listener. Okay. So apart from that, somebody said here, your building self confidence, you said. So what do you think self confidence needs? Tell me, what is self
Ma'am,
confidence?
can I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Ma'am, that we don't have to, that, we have to say it confidently. Sometimes we do, ma'am, like this, but we should not. We can prepare the answer in our mind and said it carefully and not wrong. If you don't
Ma'am, can I?
understand, so ask the what they are trying to say.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect.
Ma'am,
Self
can I?
confidence. Like when you
Students, I
when you
would just
think
request
loud.
everybody one thing, that you just answer what you know. Don't read it from anywhere else. You just answer what you know, so that it helps you to get more knowledge about what is that lacking in you. All right. So don't
Yes,
read it.
ma'am.
Just give. Nothing is right, like nothing is wrong. Nobody is judging you here. We are just having a discussion and we just want to know what more. I want to know what more I
Ma'am,
can give you.
Ma'am, we don't have to hesitate while speaking.
Okay.
Ma'am,
All
for
right.
building the building self confidence in ourselves, we have to participate on the stage, or we have to give the speech among the peoples. So it build good self confidence, or we speak many people. So it also take good self confidence.
Okay, so let me just give you a small, couple of pointers on self confidence. So please make notes if you are feeling that you don't know certain things. Please do make notes. Okay. So when we talk about self confidence, number one is you know yourself first. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Right? And at the same time, upgrade your strengths and simultaneously start learning or overcoming the what you call the weaknesses. So what happens is when you start working on those, automatically when your strength gets strengthened more, you have that confidence in you in your own way. And again, the self confidence just not comes with communication skills, your body language, but also how you dress up. How you dress yourself in as per the occasion or as per the situation, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, every aspect of these brings you the self confidence. All right. So start from today itself. Start writing down, you all might have heard about the SWOT analysis. It's mostly done in the corporate and the teaching field usually. And we started doing with students also. So it is, you make a four quadrangle and then you write SWOT is four parameters. S is strength.
Strength,
W is
weakness,
Weakness.
weaknesses, and
weakness,
O is
opportunities,
opportunities, and the fourth one,
tech,
threats. What are you feared of? Are you fearing the stage fear? Are you having that stage fear? Are you having the interpersonal skills or the intrapersonal skills in your own self? What is that you have to really work on? And when you start working on those aspects along with your strengths, then automatically you will have that self confidence. You name it, anything what all our other students said, like eye contact, handshake, the way you stand erect, your body posture, everything matters in life. All right. So that is something about the building up your own self confidence. Right. Any questions here, anybody?
Yes, I could not note the T as WOT. So what is the
T is the threat. THREAT. Threat.
okay, thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question, but it has happened with me many times that ma'am, Dr. Madhvi ma'am connect us from many educators and peoples. So I talk to them very fluently and very nicely, but when I'm offline and people and I talk to the people, so I'll being a kid.
Okay.
So I don't know why it happened that online I speak very fluently, and by on offline I become a kid.
Okay. See, when you have, that is what I called work on your strengths and your weaknesses. These are the two, what you mentioned is one, because you are not having the person face to face, correct? And when you see that person right in front of you, the way the person presents himself or herself, you start feeling, in your own self, will I be able to talk? Would I not be able to? You have those dilemmas in your mind. So that is the reason. And at the same time, when you say about fluency, I understand the word fluency means that you talk spontaneously and you have no anything. But most of the time, even online, couple of students or maybe even people like us educators also, we have like fillers. I mean, what I mean to say is, those fillers bring down your confidence level, and the other person will not feel that, will not be able to connect with you. Are you getting the point here?
Yes.
Did I
Yes,
answer
ma'am.
your question, Gunika?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, when I am on online class, so I also speak fluently without hesitating. But when I am in the class, so my teacher said me to do a conversation, so I do, but that time I hesitate while speaking.
Yeah, that's what. Just now I mentioned. It depends on the person whom you're speaking to also. Because if the other person is, have a rapport, build you, the person is approachable, has a friendly approach with you, and they make you comfortable, you will not feel that way. But sometimes they are comfortable, they make you comfortable, but sometimes you take time to be comfortable with that person, right? You take your time to adjust with that person when you want to really converse very freely. Yes or no? Right? When every class you go, you get a new class teacher, right? So you get a new class teacher because you're so fond of the previous class teacher, you're opened up to her or him from the past 1 year. But when you go to the next class, you have a new teacher. What happens? It takes some time for you to really get along with that particular teacher, right? Did I answer your question here?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
it takes
Yes,
time
ma'am.
too.
Yes, Deepti.
Ma'am, it happens always with me also. But nowadays, I think my communication is little bit improved. Now, gain a confidence because of the by making video again and again in front of the mirror, in front of the camera.
Very good.
I feel like there is another person who facing me, and communicate with myself, but I think
Uh-huh.
this is the another one person which I face, and that's why my confidence is up. And I think their problem is if they continuously indulge in videos making,
Okay.
then I think this problem is reduced very soon.
Perfect.
Rapidly
Very good.
they have to
And
work.
the technique that you are using, mirroring yourself, you know, that is
Yes, ma'am.
very important when you know that this particular aspect is your weakness. Then what happens is when you do that mirroring, you stand in front of the mirror and you watch yourself. Am I standing right? Question yourself. Always questioning yourself makes a huge difference. You will get your answer right. You need to stand right. Am I putting my hunch down? Am I looking down? Am I looking up? All these matters. And very good, DP, keep it up. Okay, you will definitely improve. Go on, continue doing that, and see where your minus points are. So we start working on those minus points, you will automatically flourish. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I agree with you. And firstly, you said you have to work on your strength and weakness. And I think if all the students prepare for their introduction, and this introduction includes strength and weakness, they rapidly do work on their introduction. It definitely helps in their reducing this communication gap. I think they have to daily basis, on the daily basis, they have to introduce yourself in the front of mirror, in the front of camera. Then they definitely know about their strength, about their weakness, about their everything they which they have got.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, children, you got one technique from Deepti now. So you need to start working on that particular aspect and see how much you can bring a change in yourself. All right. Okay. So along with all the others that I described now, what is the most important thing in terms of communication or the personality development? One
Confidence.
more aspect.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Kindly
Confidence
come
and
again.
clarity.
Effective interpersonal skills. What is interpersonal skills? Anyone?
Fluency, ma'am,
Yes.
fluency.
How to influence other person.
How to interact with the other person, right? Why do we need to think the way we need to interact with other person? Why?
For better communication.
To
Better.
gain
They
attention.
Understand us.
Uh,
share our ideas and
Good point.
Yes,
share
ma'am.
our ideas in
Sharing
feelings
our
what I
ideas.
want to
Share our
tell,
ideas.
what I want to communicate with the people.
Absolutely. At the
Ma'am,
same time, yes, Pankaj. I mean, I don't know your name. Sorry. Yeah, it's mentioned there.
ma'am, because then if we don't talk properly, so it's too boring communication, and it don't take it interest. If
Absolutely. Very
yes,
good. That is where the essence of interpersonal skills come. The reason why I said that was, suppose, and it goes very well with active listening. Suppose I'm going on telling, like, I tell, oh, I mean, my somebody at home was not well and they were hospitalized, and, I had a difficult time. But, ma'am, you didn't come for the session. I'm just giving you an example, but what you will say, oh man, you didn't come for the session. You ignore what I have been telling, right? You ignored what I've been telling. So when you understand, when you listen, what am I talking about? I say, oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I mean, who is not well? Is it you? Are you okay? How is it now? And that is when you step into others' shoe, when you have that empathy and understanding and listening to each other. Okay, are you
Right.
getting the point here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Right. So the last thing what I would go ahead and tell you is importance of the emotional intelligence along with your personality development. You need to know what type of friends you are having, what type of friends you are communicating, good language, bad language, and the motivation that you get to improvise yourself, that matters a lot. As Dipti said, she's working on her own self in many different ways. So you have to find out in what are the different ways that I need to really improve on. Are you getting that here? Yes.
Right.
So any other
Yes,
questions?
ma'am.
Because I think we are almost at the end of the session. Any other questions that I could answer for you? It would be my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask, knowledge. How much percentage knowledge affect in our communication? I think knowledge is most important key for the communication. So it affect little bit, or it has more percentage in communication.
See, knowledge is your circumference where you want to build up. Okay. Have an expertise in one topic, but also have a bit of knowledge in all the aspects, so where you can communicate in any group you can, right? So always get expertise in one subject or a topic, and then about others. Knowing other aspects is upgrading yourself, so that you can communicate better in terms of interviews, in terms of your college competitive exams, or in your terms of interviews anyway. So you need to have the bit of your knowledge in all aspects, but be the master of one, expert in one, so that you very proudly say,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
am this and I know this very thoroughly. Anything that you say, I'm ready to answer in that. And that is how you need to, but never make, it's good to be saying, master of none but jack of all trades. But yeah, it is good, but always have an expertise in one at least. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes it happens, ma'am, that we get stuck to some word because we used to translate sentences in English. So sometimes we get stuck with a word. We don't get the appropriate word for it. So what I have observed that when we start thinking in English, then we start getting the words also.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, students, never ever think of high-ended words. Always have simple sentences, short sentences, which ends quickly. When you make short sentences to speak, your errors are very less. And if you try to, put like, I know very high English, I want to put high vocabulary, don't do that. Use simple words. There's no problem until unless you get your vocabulary in place. Use simple words so that you don't stuck and you don't get fillers in yourself. Okay. Only when you get stuck, you get the so don't use fillers. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We extend
I
our
think
deepest gratitude to you, ma'am. My dear Shining Stars, we have a next batch as well. So our kids are waiting. So,
oh,
thank you so much for your tireless efforts and illuminated of minds of like every time, my dearest ma'am, and
thank you.
absolutely your selfless dedication and sharing knowledge all the time with our ESC stars. So we all are so thankful to you, and we'll be waiting for the next month also. So let's see how, and they all are going to learn from it, and they have to send two videos of Sonalja ma'am and Aruna Vodkar ma'am. So guys, both videos we have to make by dedicating them. Okay. So you have a two. One is a gratitude and another is personality which you have learned. Okay. So don't you forget it, and we are going to dedicate it, share it to ma'am so ma'am can go through it. Thanks a lot once again, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Madhvi,
you.
and thank you, children, for being with me and having that
Thank you
intellectual
so much,
session.
Thank
ma'am.
you so
I
much
Yes,
for
love
your
you.
Thank
ma'am.
you
valuable
so
Thank you
much,
so
ma'am,
much.
for sharing
Thank
so
you,
much knowledge,
Miss
ma'am.
Sam.
Thank you.